Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 1 in my Symphogear Exiv? XV? One of them. I think I've been told Exiv reaction series. Back here again for the first episode of the final season. Very excited to be here, I guess. Yeah, we made it, huh? So just some background before I jump into the comments. I'm recording this on the Saturday. My plan is to get this out by tonight because I think I'm traveling tomorrow. So I'll be unable to edit, obviously, because I won't have my computer with me. So I would want to get that done and out in a reasonable time. I don't work today, so should be able to do that if I put my mind to it. I think before I start talking about the new stuff, I think I should dive into the old stuff and have a little bit of a look at the YouTube comments. Which there were quite a few long ones, which is expected after a season finale, especially a very long episode where I go, 12, 13, and OVAs. Just makes sense that there'll be a lot of people that want to say a lot of stuff, so it works. This is one of 5 Bonnie comments, first commenting that they're excited to watch this after they get home from work, so that's good. Before we move on to a Vitaly Kuzmin, which is a very interesting at. I think I talked about this in Revue Starlight yesterday. YouTube just wants to show me people's ats now instead of their actual names, so I'll have to click in if I ever see a user Ziev whatever, because I know this is Vitaly Kuzmin because they comment every week, so I don't know. You know what I mean, though, right? It's going to be a weird adjustment. Weirdly enough, I haven't seen JoJo either. I was just kind of winging it, and I think that's what. And I think I got away with it. That's good. Yeah, many people want me to see JoJo, which is something that could happen at some point in time. And of course, normal Vitaly Kuzmin comment goes through a number of time codes, little jokes, and that kind of thing. Always very enjoyable. Like Tiki doing something good for once by grabbing Adam's leg just at the right moment. This is some good stuff, though, talking about the birthday. So there was supposed to be Hibiki's birthday on the next day, but we spent 48 hours in the cocoon, so she kind of skipped it. That still doesn't tell me why they had all the party stuff set up. But anyway, it's such a weird detail that I don't really want to stay on it too much. Crazy finale, well, yeah, standard for Symphogear. So many great moments, whole Hibiki saving mission, sacrifice of our trio, not so villainous alchemists, great fight animation, great music, so many emotional moments, a little bit of formula breaking by using not X Drive, but kind of X Drive. It's like an Ignite version. And now that we've defeated the devil, there's still a god and a person that can harbor divine power, which is what we're leading into the next season with, I believe. Definitely not very, very bad foreshadowing, especially combined with the key visual we'll have a look at later as well. And yeah, easily excited for the next season here, probably mirroring my thoughts as well. M. Marsh with the next comment here, probably preferring the normal episode analysis version that I normally do. Full cards on the table. Last weekend was very, very busy. I worked basically the entire time. I worked heavy hours Thursday through Monday, which was kind of my working week. So it was very hard to put out a video of that length with the normal, attention that I want to give them. Therefore, it was kind of a cop-out, me doing the 2 episodes in a row and then talking a little bit more briefly about the 2 episodes as a result. So that won't be a regular thing anymore. I'll try to clear more time and delay the video as necessary, which I have been doing anyway, just very, very busy. Oh, I didn't notice this. There's a very brief scene at the start of 12 with Adam using his unattached hand to lift his hat and put it back down as he teleports away. Very, very extra, still taking that attention to detail when he's literally got one arm. That's pretty good. I agree, I wish we got Hibiki attack cards using the other characters, visual flares and that kind of thing. That would have been fantastic. But I'm glad they used Armor Purge. Armor Purge is fun too. Yeah, just again, very fan servicey and something really enjoyable for someone who's watched the season or watched the series this long. We got it in GX2, but I appreciate them kind of pacing that last episode. So there's still that time to have a little bit of a slice of lifey scene after everything's done, just making everything a little bit better. From memory in GX, that was a lot of the Carol Elfnine stuff in that episode as well, from memory. But it's been a while, so I forget. But yeah, you're not going to get me to stop liking slice of lifey stuff. It's basically my personality. The gourmet tour thing Kirika mentioned in the OVAs was what she tried convincing Shirabe that they were doing when they were spying on the girls back at the school festival in early G. Yeah, I mean, that was so long ago, but now that you've said it, yeah, that's totally what they convinced themselves they were doing when they went to the festival. Yes. The final form the girls used against Adam wasn't X-Drive as you noted, it was Ignite plus the Alchemist's power from Sanjaman's Faust Robe, which kind of explains the word, the gold thing Hibiki used at the end. Also, Last Ignition is a way cooler name than X-Drive, and very excited for Xiv as we go forward. And yeah, Kasogtha back here again. Interesting at. Very long comment, so we'll dive in. Quick smart. Surely nothing symbolic about Hibiki spending 2 days in a god cocoon and then coming back out on her birthday. Yeah, okay, that's yeah. The god likeness of it, huh? Divine power and kind of like the Symphogear power system, the relation between those and Fine's backstory, and all that kind of stuff with the Curse of Belial is very, very interesting for sure, and it's something that we're probably going to pay off a lot more on as we continue, you would think, right? Yeah, the whole Hibiki problem thing, I was never threatened by Hibiki transforming like that. I was never like, this is going to be permanent. This feels like something that's monumental. Because, again, we have mechanisms in the show to rectify this. And we've demonstrated that a lot in the past, so this was always going to be the technique we used. I like that we bring in the linker subplot from the rest of the season as well, to kind of help with that. So we've solved linker, and that's helping to solve our final problem as well. Just making this season feel all nice. Put a bow on it. There was also giant syringes flying into her ass, which was an interesting scene for sure. It was alright. The gear decontamination thing that was brought up when the Fool's and Philosopher's Stone damage caused to the gears when they meet. Words. After the fight with Sanjaman, she helps Elf9 fix all this stuff, but Hibiki's doesn't get fixed, and that's why it poses a danger, but of course we have protagonist powers to just help with that. This is interesting. The disaster prevention law that Fudo brings up is actually something of his own making, something he pushed for with considerable force. So it basically boils down to they can interfere with noise, and they thought it was mostly going to be noise, but it was actually relics or heretical technology, which Hibiki falls under the kind of borders of. She's in that category in episode 12. So yeah, they're kind of using that side of the law to enact this violence, which is interesting, right? I will say that, yeah, the God Hibiki, not my favorite design, for sure, because I feel like it looks a little bit too much like the Tiki one, but I guess that's just kind of where we're at. I do like that how, if you told me which character has transformed into this, I would tell you Hibiki. It's got enough Hibiki details to it to identify, and I like that. See, now I'm uncultured, so I don't even know the Taming of the Shrew, so I don't know how it's thematically relevant to what we have going on, because I'm not smart. I do like Maria's use in this part of the fight as well, the episode 12 portion, where she's channeling a lot of the girl's energy altogether. That's what her relic does, so it makes sense that she would continue to do this. It also happens during the S2CA Tri-Burst during the finale. She's kind of the centerpiece to that as well. I like this as an interpretation as well, kind of the alchemist compared to Adam. Adam transmuting literal, actual gold, and then the alchemists putting their lives on the line to transmute into a bunch of pure gold light, saving the day. Yeah, just a very writerly little detail there. Probably something I could do a little bit more of, a little bit more. What's the word? English teacher, you know what I mean? Where I look for those kind of connections. And yeah, we get to see Adam suffer, just leading into episode 13. Hibiki's VA really sells this part as well at the start of episode 13, where she really laments the death of the alchemists and not being able to actually fulfill her promises there. I thought that was quite well done. And yeah, this may be where we're leading in the future. The custodians Anunnaki, which was a word we continued to use last episode as well. I do like these unison songs we do for the season finale, really adds to that finale-esque feeling to it, which I like. Devil Adam is in fact the devil, designed after Baphomet, the goat-like figure you see in a lot of satanic imagery. Though in Symphogear, it's actually the other way around. An artist caught sight of Adam's real form and then inspired the motif in the setting. That's an interesting detail too. I love the phones. I kind of wish Adam stuck around. He's very fun. He is evil. He's a fucker. But he's fun. I really like the phones. The phone gags, it just kills me. Kasogtha goes on a long rant here about that part where the gears are going crazy and it's going to explode, and there's a lot of Faust-Robian energy going into that stuff. That part happens so quickly, it's almost ridiculous. And yeah, like, it doesn't go great. And then when they need that last boost, the spirits of the alchemists come in to aid. They sort of use their own lives as the stone to contain the nuke, thus their lives are mixed in with the energy now coursing through the gears. And again, metaphorically using that same energy from the alchemists to hurt Adam, which they want to do. So again, makes sense from that perspective. Just a lot here happens in a small amount of time, and it's very hard to track without paragraphs like this. I think this comes up again later as well. The Order from Aoi Yuki, which is Hibiki's VA, was an ad-lib, which is surprising to me. But yeah, not an unwelcome one either. Go back to the birthday, there's a quiet moment with Hibiki on the balcony with Miku, and yeah, that leads into whatever the hell we have going on next. And then yeah, some stuff on the OVAs. I actually really like the Kirika stuff, she's just very dumb and it's endearing. And then there was the whole part with the Soman going down the whole slide thing, and that was like a slide for cats. Yeah, that was definitely an episode. Next comment here, Trails to the Plus. Unsatisfied with having a single finale, Axis insists on stuffing a bunch of them into the last episodes. They do suffer from a lack of breathing room, Symphogear anybody, but yeah, we kind of skillfully transition between the problems as we go through the finale. So the Alchemist song, like at Valverde is the lead into this song we have now. That's what I'm getting from this. Kind of an alternate version, we're calling it. This was a question I had, what happened to the divine energy? Apparently it's gone, but why and how? I think it's because this is the first time Hibiki and her god-slaying powers was the one to destroy the container. When Tiki's god form was destroyed, she launched out of that god body's chest before getting hit, so Hibiki never broke the big body that time, she just punched Tiki in half. Interesting, pretty esoteric, but sure. Tiki being the kind of foil for Adam's godlike power is great. He used her, so now she's getting a little bit of her own revenge, even though she's too dumb to notice it. Again, like being the oppressor, stepping over the little guy, and then the little guy comes back and hurts you in a big way. Again, without really knowing it. The teleporting phone, you're never going to see me hating on that. Using something different than X-Drive for a change of pace, I agree with. These Symphogear finales can blend together a little bit. They're a little bit on the samey side, which I don't dislike. But I like that we're doing something at least a little bit different sometimes. And yeah, I didn't catch this. Giant's Leaf and Ignite modes are gone, so it got burnt up. Okay, we're not going to have the Ignite mode to rely on next. Whatever comes next. Okay, Seraph Armoros with the next comment here. I wonder if the divine power manifests in humans. It's similar to the berserk mode Symphogear users can end up having, but worse. That would explain Hibiki's out-of-control behavior when she's in that state. Another interesting little look. So connecting divine power and Symphogear mechanics for sure. It's interesting that we don't have that ignite mode now, that kind of controlling mechanism for the berserk. Maybe it'll manifest in some way? You can only imagine. We kind of talked about this already. Not designed to work with the alchemic energy, so that's why they had to do all that stuff on the fly with Elf9 to make sure they didn't explode. Hibiki isn't naturally attuned, someone who can use Symphogear without Linker, so when she stopped being a fusion, she shouldn't have been able to wield Gungnir again, but because she was cleansed of sin, because of the Shen Shou Jing, I always struggle with that one, she was able to bypass that requirement. That's why Murray is so surprised Hibiki was able to steal Gungnir from her. It shouldn't be possible, but it was. And that's kind of, and again, miracle energy. I like that we've actually got a reason for it, but Hibiki just being able to do it works as well, I think. Next comment here, username Silent. Some things about Symphogear easier to notice if you have information from future episodes, so I think this format may be better. So we got the conflicting stuff going on. I'm probably just going to revert back to the old style, though. Great react, excited for Exiv. Yeah, thank you. Bonnie's comments here, I think there's 4 of them. Episode 12, Adam wanted divine power but got divine karma in a little package called Tiki. Tiki's one redeeming moment for the series. And yeah, confirming the Alchemist Trio song is the same one from early in the season during episode 1 or 2. Again, foregoing X-Drive in lieu of something cooler. I mean, she like turned into gold. That's pretty cool. The JoJo reference being a ad-lib, which we've talked about before as well. I love that Adam uses the telephone. Always going to mention the telephone though. The custodians from back in season 1, clearly a direction we're heading for this season, you would think. The new Symphogear forms are called rebuild gears. Since Lapis Stone reforged them completely, the ability to use Ignite ever again was lost in the process, and Dian's Leaf was incinerated. And yeah, Chris had that massive warhead too. That was a good scene. Hibiki screaming Gungnir chant is so rad. Yeah, she's rad. Hibiki's rad. Oh, Hibiki's gold form is a reference to Saint Seiya, I believe. Wouldn't have known that. Okay, I just think it's cool. I just think it's neat. So what goes with those tomatoes? Spaghetti. The return of spaghetti. Oh god, I remember she was so messy. That scene killed me from whatever season that was back in the day. I think it was GX when they had the Subasa um, words, Chris stuff. Also, in this time code here is when Subasa is doing the dishes and making the weird structure. It was strange. Yeah, there's Miku stuff on the horizon, and that's where we're going at next. Next season pre-thoughts, no spoilers. I like this. I like no spoilers. Congrats on making it this far. Not everyone has the dedication to reach this point, so well done. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Would I ever drop a show? I don't think I would. Part of the what I have going on is commitment to what other people think is good, right? Putting the time in and the effort in to understand why it's good and why people like it. And I think me just stopping watching something very, very early on is in complete contrast to that. So yeah, I'm probably never going to drop a show unless it's like stupid bad and there's like 2 trillion episodes of it. You know what I mean? I reserve the right to do it, of course, but like not for no reason, of course. Like just it's just not what this channel's about. Yeah, so Axis was only part one of a planned story. This is what was being alluded to before, I think. These were the 2 seasons that were planned in tandem. So this is Infinity War. We finished Infinity War, we're moving on to Endgame, the conclusion we've been building up to since season 1. And yeah, it's a real treat for those that have stuck around for the long run, and I hope I enjoy it as much as everybody else does. And then Bonnie here with a question without notice, I would say. Which of the 4 seasons thus far has been your favorite? This made me think. I'm like, which actually has been my favorite? And I'm unsure. Each season has things that I like about them and some things I don't like about them. I think this kind of happiest middle point for a lot of that was G, I think. The first season's really good though. Like, it does a great job of establishing what we have going on. And I think that it's still the point in which we had the villain that had the most threat to them, right? Because Ver's never going to do shit. Ver's Ver, right? Carol is just obviously a good guy in disguise, and so is Sanjaman and her merry men or women. I guess Adam's cool. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's probably something I'm going to do similar to what I plan to do with Monogatari as well, where I'll probably take a video and do some tier lists and that kind of thing. Tier list of characters, probably some songs in there, openings, episodes, seasons, whatever else, right? Whatever else gets requested. So yeah, we'll do something like that eventually, but tentatively G for now, which could change any day. Last 2 comments here. Vot. Just a note on the OSTs, most if not all the climactic songs have a version called Aufwachen, we're going to say. Always struggle with that one too, the German. Form, which has a longer and usually quite epic lead-on from the official version. You can hear Testament's form, great piano riff, in episode 13, just after the gang joins Biki in her Zesshou at this point in the timecode. So yeah, there's extended versions of, I'm guessing, a lot of these songs. There's been second verses that people have talked to me about in the past as well. Jeremero, last comment here, Adam really hits you with the "you didn't win" as he explodes, which he does. He's a little child right there to the end. He says, no, 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 you, towards the very end, which I found weirdly charming. Ignore this weird OBS version thing that I got up, but this is the key visual. This is very, I like just made this in OBS. Either way, this is the key visual that I think I'm supposed to be looking at, the one that isn't spoilery, or at least I don't think so. What do we see? We see loads of different. Also, I'm on Mal, by the way. I didn't look up spoilers. Trust. We see asteroids, stars even, falling from the sky. Kind of like, remember what we said, like meteor burning, crashing? Remember that little subtitle? It's kind of giving me that kind of vibe. Obviously, each of the colors is associated with each of the girls. We have Hibiki and Miku in their uniforms. It's quite cold, maybe a little bit of a wintry vibe this season. looking up and looking at those. They could also be interpreted as shooting stars, these two finally seeing the shooting stars that they've been wanting to see all this time. Are they holding hands? You could say that they're holding hands, I think. Yeah, I don't know if the city is in a great place. It looks kind of desolate and fucked. It's kind of that something bad's going on, shit's going down, all I have is you type energy, which I appreciate. So yeah, this is the one thing that I'm going to see going into the next season, with the thought of, hey, so in the past few seasons, we've kind of got an evil team of really gay, really fabulous girls, alchemists or symphogears or something to that effect, right? I'm wondering if we're going to do that with the final season. I wonder who the enemy is going to be. Got a weird feeling it might be you. Got a weird feeling. Got a weird feeling that you're going to be villainous at some point along the journey, Miku. I wonder how we're going to manifest that. I wonder how quickly that's going to happen. I wonder who's going to kind of stand in our way in the meantime. I don't know. I really don't know. Or we could go in a completely different direction and defy convention a little bit. So yeah, the most concrete, like, next detail in the story is the Miku stuff. I've mentioned it a couple of times. It's probably the only thing we have going forward that I can really comment on. Kind of wish list for this season as well. I want to see cool songs. I want to see an awesome opening episode, which we always get. What else do I want to see? I want to see some concrete finish stuff for a lot of the arcs that we have going on. I want to see Chris in a really good place. I want to see Maria and kind of the FIS trio find a little bit of normalcy and hope and that kind of thing, right? If this is in fact the final season, then I want to see a good conclusion to what we have going on. Even if that conclusion may be bittersweet. But again, that isn't really Symphogear's go. So we'll see. And I've talked for way too long already, so I'm going to do my shill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back, and the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord, Discord. So yeah, jumping into episode 1 of Symphogear Exiv, one of the two. Well, I've made a couple of discoveries. First is that I don't have the D-Truck subs anymore, which I'll just pop up here anyway and tell you that it's 23 minutes and 40 seconds because it always is. But yeah, I have the Quartz subs, and it's the one that they've chosen for me. So if I click on the VLC video, this is the one auto-selected. I'm just going to rock with it. And please let me know if these subs, for whatever reason, they're bad. And I'm very, very happy to change. I thought that it would just be D-Truck all the way through and it'd be very easy, but no. Apparently not. Maybe this is just a different name, but I don't know. Either way, I don't know what I'm looking at now as well, which is intriguing. Looks kind of like a dungeon or something, which is strange. But yeah, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description down below. Just going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump in. Radio. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Where the hell am I? Why is this familiar to me? Question mark? Yeah. What is happening? Okay, that's some of that technology shit that Mum was using, right? Oh, shit! Look at this lore! Excuse me? Okay, there's a lot to talk about already. Yeah? Who are you, Hairman? Forgive me, Fine. The law. Yeah, I'm a little bit dumbfounded. There's some stuff to jump off of, though. For sure. Alright, what are we doing? Yeah, kind of, I said a wintry vibe, but this is ridiculous. Are we doing something at, like, the North Pole or something? Okay. Are we fixing global warming? Okay. The sarcophagus. Okay. We're going to need to send somebody in to help. Not the sarcophagus. If I can speak. Sarcophagus. Oh, the fits are insane, though. Okay, so the South Pole. Yeah. There's also hidden ruins under there that are housing the giants or something, according to conspiracy theories. Which I believe. Which I don't. Alright, what is this sarcophagus? Seems intimidating. Is it like a big automaton? We could do that. I don't know, you tell me. I don't know what it is. It's like an Egyptian. Yeah, didn't ask Kiriko. She would have no clue. Alright. Airdrop. Let's go. Oh, the heart. Hello? She's cool. Socks on. Okay. Alright. They're going insane. What kind of budget were they on for this? Alright, that's just cool. Oh, the scarf too. Because it's cold. We love the scarf tech. It's just a Hibiki song? Or are we going to do a little bit more of a medley thing? Alright, I'm keen to see everybody's one of those. They're insane. I'm more interested about like the first part of this episode though. Oh yeah, look at these researchers. Oh, the ice skating. I wish I could hear the song a little bit more though. Alright, there it is a little bit. Did she just like hip toss it? Yeah, give him the Megadeth party. Okay. But what is the sarcophagus? I do like the ice thing. I don't know why you call it that. It's like a coffin, right? Well, kind of. Okay, great point. That's a great reason why this could be a sarcophagus. Alright, what do you reckon's inside? Okay, spiky. We can do spiky. Oh, it shoots spiky. That turn into little mosquitoes? Okay. Sure. She did it? Are you guys ice skating together? Oh my god. Yeah, give him the blue flash. Now that's like a rain of arrows or something. Okay, what? Alright. I like the sound effects too. Double drill? Alright. Did we win? Kind of. Hole. Alright, you two are cool. Well, that's no good. Right in the face. They're okay. It's only episode 1. Okay. With the boob jiggle, too. Yeah, I don't get what these ice things are. Oh, it's like an ice beam? Well, that's no good. They're all gonna die. No. I think they're gonna be okay. I'm gonna be real with you. Maybe not? Okay. What did we mean by this? Is this a flashback? But yeah, definitely a wintry vibe for sure. Get to see everybody in their winter drip. That's good. Yeah, I mean, who's playing the piano, huh? Thank you. What is this for, like some kind of test? Oh my god, the teacher was nice to her? What is this? Sure, we'll take it. Oh, she loves it. Yeah, okay. It couldn't last. Not the teacher. Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. More than you will ever know. Wait, does the teacher know that she's like a superhero? Or does she just like not care? She also put her in a swivel. I'm a superhero. Teach? Let me out. What the hell am I looking at? Are these fireworks? Okay. Yeah, this feels like a setup. Oh no. Not the nuke guy. Yeah, we're going to go to the moon, apparently. She's very animated this season, isn't she? Hibiki. I like it a lot. Definitely a higher budget, better animation. All the works. Oh my god, just kiss already, you two. Yeah? Well, yeah, I do. I wonder if this is foreshadowing. Faster than the speed of light. Oh, why did it stop her in her tracks? Ooh, think about it. Oh my god. Well, it's time for me to go help. It's alright, it's only a domestic terrorist attack. Nothing big. Why? Excuse me? Oh, it's like a huge cruise ship. Gotcha. I was like, it's like a small yacht. I see. Well, evidently, yeah. Yeah? Which? Oh, okay. We're analyzing Tiki. I think he pretty much told us what he wanted to do. Does that mean Tiki's gone? We can only hope. Yeah. Alright, and that's where we find the sarcophagus. Vostok. Well, yeah, clearly with the name. Oh my... Hibiki. It's ice. Oh, that's kind of... Maybe the water's going up and then freezing. Oh god, they did cause global warming. Yeah. Frozen scorpion. Okay. Okay, the world has changed, sure. Secret underground tunnels, think about it. Yeah, maybe something akin to the, person I saw in the start of the episode. And oh, okay. I thought you just wanted world domination. I see. Okay, that's very important then. Destroy that. Okay. And that's our lead into what we saw at the start. Okay. Yes, sir. What is this angle? Sure. Yeah, he had a really weird devil form. Well, that definitely bodes well. Lose, I never lose. Okay. It's looking bad for our heroes, but I have a feeling that they're going to be okay, considering there's 12 episodes left. Unless it's just like the, question mark? Who is you? Who, elf? Okay, elf. What? Excuse me? Who is you? Okay, so you're associated with the Illuminati. Okay. We're not... We don't like him. We're not associated. Yeah, you want what's inside of it. Yeah. Hair. Back to Our Future? Yeah. I like the bing bong she said too. Bing bong. Okay, Genjiro. Oh, what a hero. Yo. Little bit of heroicism sparks a whole lot of heroicism. Think about it. Oh, I love this song. In the instrumental. Oh, we're back. We're all back. Ah, big knife. Thank you, Elf9. Yes, the mosquitoes. What a hibiki. Okay. Oh yeah, we're surfing on the lake that's now opening. Cool. Spin shit? Yo. Yeah, this is fucking good. I love this song. Has very like, I need a hero. That kind of vibe. What is happening? Oh, okay, Elf9 did something. Thank you. One for all? All for one? Did we do it? It's down on its back. That's good. Thanks, Hibiki. Ah. Okay, it turned into a ball. It's the fucking hamster something. I don't know. I had a joke at some point. Am I just gonna punch it? Sure. I love the yo-yos too. Going for a swim. Oh, we hate water. Our greatest enemy. Good. We're still bringing back that back. Oh, yo, the OST's carrying as well. What is she doing? What is that on her hands? Is she like mixing up the water, creating some kind of vortex? Song with no lyrics? Cringe. Bro, the tempo of these songs too. Alright, are we just going to like airshot it? I also like the light emerging too. What are we? Gear Blast? What am I looking at? We love birthdays, don't we? Well, yeah, they're in danger right this second. They're vulnerable. Make the shot. G3FA Hexa Revolver Rainbow Beam. Sure. Oh, and then all the clouds gone. Great. We did it. I hope what's in there is good for you. From the abyss of history. And then this song here as well, which feels very opening adjacent. No, it's still the same song that was playing just then, right? I hear that like propulsive beat. But yeah, that was a Symphogear episode 1, ladies and gentlemen, where we kind of accelerator, and then small stop, and then accelerator, because we needed to establish some context around what we're actually doing. Dragging down the lost lambs into hell? Sure. What other thoughts do I even have? It looks really good. Like, this is another market improvement. I think this came out in 2019. So, I mean, relatively recently made anime. But also, like, living up to every, like, meaning of that. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't look out of place coming out today because it came out today. I don't even know what else to say. The intro, like from way in the past, is very interesting, and I want to talk about it a lot and what I think it may mean. Because that kind of looked like that structure we had seen flying through space before. Create a history with the light God could not know. Oh, post credit. What have we found? That's a hole. Yeah. What are we thinking? Oh. Sure. Well, that was unexpected. I'll bring that up again shortly. Okay, so that was episode 1. Did episode 1 things, where it was very entertaining, and we had a couple of songs, and Hibiki really did her thing, and yeah, it was action packed, propulsive, an awesome action scene against a previously unforeseen threat that is a sarcophagus in multiple meanings of the word. So, sarcophagus in the way that it's housing somebody that has died, a custodian, which we'll pay attention to the dialogue later, but it's apparently like Adam wanted to kill it. Whoever these other characters are want to claim it, whatever that means, use it. Adam wanting to destroy it now makes a lot of sense now that it is a custodian, because he wanted to like show them essentially. He wanted to do that side of it, enact his revenge. This particular custodian may be important for that reason as well, but I'll get back onto my point. It's a sarcophagus in that it's also like a tomb, like an Egyptian tomb, in that it's actively hostile to people that want to steal from it. Which I don't know if you guys are familiar, but pyramids, lots of little traps and stuff. You think back to your classic kind of really British serials where they go to Egypt and get into mischief and that kind of thing. So, kind of in that way as well, you can call it a sarcophagus. And yeah, poses a genuine threat using the threat of the cold. If we want to talk about the whole show thematically, we can talk about a lot about sunshine and Miku and Hibiki, and now we're moving into the cold. There's also clouds. We break through the clouds and see the light. There's a fair bit going on in that aspect of it as well. But yeah, a wintry season for sure. The thing I have on screen is probably one of the parts of the episode I want to talk about the most as well, which is seemingly indicative of some larger stuff about the origins of humans and their communication with them. They, potentially the custodians, potentially the origins of the Curse of Belial, maybe. Like, there's some Fine stuff. This guy mentions Fine, so, like, I don't know. I really don't know. We're going to give it another look now. But yeah, thumb up episode. It's obviously good. And we'll go through that transformation sequence too, which was just bonkers. For some reason, I feel like I've seen this location before too. It kind of reminds me of the Frontier in a weird way, I think. I think that's what it reminds me of. But it could also be something else that was in... Like, I'm seeing Carol and Ver in like a similar hallway. But maybe that's just what the chateau looked like. But clearly some kind of conflict, some kind of... Or maybe this is all from the one guy. Actually, now it's definitely all from the one guy now that I think about it. Systems all green, launching network jammer in T-minus 300 seconds. This thing looks like the thing that was at the frontier that Mum was playing with at one point in time, and using kind of his last ounce of energy to send something from Earth to the moon. And then we see this, and this kind of looks like the thing I've seen floating through space a lot. Again, giving me frontier vibes, giving me, what was the thing floating in front of the moon in the opening of Axis? Kind of giving me that kind of vibe. Even this, like, symbol here, like, I feel like I've seen this, We no longer have the time or even the words to fully explain ourselves, or even the words, huh? We cannot communicate? Forgive me, Fine. But yeah, I mean, there's been some allusions from the comments in the past to something on the moon, right? Like, this guy could have sent something to the moon that housed something like that, maybe? And then, yeah, we jump right into our main action scene of the episode, which takes place in Antarctica. So now we have all the context. They've gone to Antarctica to this particular lake, Lake Volstock from memory, where they have found something that is progressing far beyond their initial simulations. It's raising quicker and quicker, becoming more and more powerful, becoming a real threat. This whole thing is the sarcophagus, a relic of a previous civilization, prehistoric. Vostok, not Volstock, by the way. Yeah, okay, another thing I've noticed this episode as well. Yeah, I'm kind of on 1.5 times speed, so it's harder to see, but just like that little bit of character animation that we're seeing on Hibiki, like a lot. It's clearly a focus. It's very... framey's the wrong word, but it's cartoonish in its design. It's not meant to be like a realistic depiction of somebody moving in a scene, but it's something that I really like that they're doing with the character animation this season, particularly only with Hibiki so far, but hopefully we get these similar flourishes for all the other characters. Of course, Hibiki and Kirika fall under the false pretense that the Southern Hemisphere would be, warm during summer. Like, not all of it. It still gets very, very cold down the bottom. Again, they're saying this because Japan is in winter, which we see later on with the uniforms. So again, we use this a lot. So one of the first things we see that demonstrates the threat of the sarcophagus is this breaking of the clouds. So I always see this as like cloudy vision, like I can't see the truth, and we're discovering the truth slowly. It's slowly being uncovered. Among other things, I mean, this is also ominous, but also kind of beautiful. Like, there's lots going on with the weather in Symphogear this season so far that I want to talk about. This here's the sarcophagus. It's kind of like a giant automaton type thing that stands up and shoots lasers and also has like little noise-esque mosquito things that come out of it as well. It's also got a thing on its chest that you enter through. So Symphogear shit. And yeah, we're going to airdrop in for our first song of the episode and a Hibiki transformation sequence to boot. Alright, first thing I notice, like, this is like some Lapis shit, right? I'm not quite sure what happened at the end of last season, but is this like a thing now? Cool. Expand out, explosion. 2 Hibikis. We've seen this kind of shit before. We're mixing up the background a lot. Normally it's just your plain white. Now we've got a ton of shit going on. Still like using notes on a musical scale and using that kind of thing to paint like the gear onto the body. But it's just crisper, like the big stamp onto the ground. Like this move through, kind of infusing the kind of kung fu techniques that we have from Hibiki into it. Yeah, and then we just budge it out. Like, big old sweeping shots like that are expensive, if you didn't know. So seeing stuff like that from Symphogear is really nice. It's from the humble origins of the first season to now is quite the jump. And it's just cool. I mean, look at it. It's cool. Like, yeah, I love how strong she seems here, right? It seems like a real progression through the show. She's got that earthbender shit going on. It's all about stamping on the ground. And of course, got the scarf on, not only because it's cold, but because it's cool as well. Then even these poses at the end, like, it just looks better. I don't know how to describe it. I'm very, very, very keen to see everybody else's. Kind of got that waveform in the back as well, which is indicative of Hibiki. And yeah, we get a Hibiki song leading into a little bit of a medley thing towards the back end. I think this is only Hibiki though. Once you've made it through all the darkness, you'll see the light at the end of the dawning sun, or see the light at the end is the dawning sun. Miku, anybody? So the first indicator is that Hibiki goes for like super punch, and then the sarcophagus matches her strength. It doesn't immediately fall apart, it must be some kind of threat. Etch all of these sentiments into your heart, these burning, sometimes painful memoria? I was expecting that to see memories. So it's seemingly shooting like lasers under the water, right? Which is bringing water up and then immediately freezing. Okay, so it's kind of using like a bit of a hidden tactic to its attacking. What and who do you fight for? What does your gut say? Get to heart, one burning punch. But yeah, clearly there's like the research institute nearby, and they're, you know, pretty justifiably upset and running away. Can you hear this song burning in your heart and soul? No hesitation can ever weigh down my fists. As yeah, we kind of get into our group attacks. We have Kirika and Shirabe ice skating. Kind of even doing a little bit of a routine where there's a lift, which is quite funny and gay as well. Hold on for our joined hands, hold the answer, and our journey to find the true meaning continues. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the show's about, kind of. Especially the journey to find the true meaning, I think we're going to dive into a lot this season. With the wind at our backs is maybe the last thing we hear before Big Old Laser destroys everything, maybe? Yeah, Big Old Laser pulls up a bunch more of those things. Now I remember we have a second verse. And yeah, this is where we get into the justification of the sarcophagus itself. It's defending the secrets that hold within like a true kind of Egyptian tomb sarcophagus, right? Yeah, to keep grave robbers away in the same way that those tombs were built. I vowed to protect others, but what if the time comes that my two fists aren't enough? There's definitely some foreshadowing towards that and Miku in the future. I can't stop now, not even if I'm afraid, as time marches on mercilessly to the future. Sure. And yeah, we're using, okay, if it's defending this hard, the inside must be something worth it. Us at this point in the story also know that Tiki is pointing this thing out and then exploding, which seems like it's going to be the real deal as well, right? Am I really myself when I make decisions? Please tell me, please tell me. Not quite sure what that's about. Either way, so these little things sprout off the spikes that come out of the sarcophagus, and they give me big noise vibes, which is interesting thematically as well. But for now, just take the first step. Let today become the spark that lights tomorrow. And yeah, we're just animating the shit out of it. I should talk about it enough. I'm not an animation guy. I can't talk on it on that level. But goddamn, it's impressive, for sure. Live your life without regrets. Your fight's far from over. And yeah, this is where we see the little kind of, what would you call it? Figure skating routine, I guess, between Kirika and Shirabe. Kind of like a dual attack, which they use to kill a bunch of the mosquito guys. The fire that's still burning in you will consume your fear and fuel the possibilities of your heart. Sure, in as many words. Believe in its light, as we see Tsubasa rain down on this thing, revealing an opening for Hibiki and Maria to take advantage of. So what even happens here? So she like makes like a big old thing, right? But we turn into like drills. Like each hand has a drill, and then we're holding hands as like a big drill pairing that's going to drill a hole in the thing. And we're like screaming the whole time too, and it breaks this little opening in the guy, right? Creating a weak point that we'll exploit later. So it's almost like a marine animal as well. It kind of like dives here, slapping these two to the ground. I guess it had been living underwater. Chris stands in the way of this giant beam using her shield, which is cool. But that results in a bunch of the water coming up, or the attack from underneath coming up and icing up. It's directed an energy beam at minus 5100 degrees. So I'm imagining either Celsius or Fahrenheit. This is impossible from the way I understand, like, temperature dynamics. It caps out at a certain point, right? The lowest temperature possible is known as absolute zero, and long ago calculated to be minus 459.67 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the coldest temperature conceivable by physicists. So, if we're here, that's bad. That's really bad. No wonder they froze. And the gears can't really deal with that at this point without something to inspire them out of this little rut that they're in. And then flashback, and we see how we got to this point. Like, it's literally like, if I go back here, it's like, Hey, this is me. I bet you're wondering how I got into this little predicament. It was this. It's pretty classic stuff, but it's good. It's good episode structure. Kind of singing that little school anthem that we've heard a number of times, even back to season 1 from memory. Everybody's, wearing their winter uniforms. Still a lot of leg on show for a winter uniform too. That's I mean, I've never worn a skirt. I don't know how practical it is in the winter, but I can't imagine it's very much fun. You also see the trees in the background. No leaves. Clearly winter. We have the Stroganoff trio making their appearance, which just, warms the cockles. It's nice. Of course, as indicated last season, we have Miku playing the piano for Hibiki's singing voice. Clearly some kind of choir test, music class test, which Hibiki should be nailing. And yeah, the teacher that's been very strict with Hibiki gives her a little bit of props after this song. You pass. And she's so happy. And okay, tell you what this reminds me of. Hooray, I get to talk about my favorite show. She's giving me big Hirasawa Yui vibes right now, right? Something about the music, something about this. Like very, very Yui for me, which is the biggest compliment that I can give to anything because she's the best character ever put in fiction. So if you're resembling her, then you must be pretty good. Just see, I like that I passed. I'm not self-satisfied. I immediately turn to Miku and congratulate her as well. Like, aren't you proud of me? Like that kind of vibe as well. It's just cute. It's good stuff. A lot more of this early in the show would have gone a long way, I think. This is the kind of stuff that I think we're missing. And of course, the teacher can't, stay happy at Hibiki, needs to, yell at her for whatever reason. Even the voice performance on this teacher is, really good. I think, production quality wise, we're just stepping up season on season really nicely. And of course, saying, hey, your song really draws the listener in, which, again, we know this, we watched the show. All these fireworks are nice too, but is this just like a screen or something, or like holograms? I don't really understand what I'm looking at there, but it's cool. Alright, so then we're hearing about a US-Japan joint space program that's been in the works, and we've got the moon in the background. We're probably going towards the moon in some way. Am I wrong, or is this the guy that tried to nuke Japan? So, we don't it's like thin Trump. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting, especially with the red tie. Yeah, we're going to the moon in whatever form that may be. We see there's some, in that big spot on the moon, there's some kind of stuff behind it, so maybe we're going to see that at some point. So again, Hibiki forlornly looks at that before running away. It's clearly indicative of stuff in the future, something to keep in mind when watching again next week. And again, same with this character animation stuff, just arms in the air, flailing wildly as she runs towards Miku. This is new for the show. This isn't what we've seen before for mine. It's a particular emphasis this season that I really enjoy. So they got themselves a little snack, and to my knowledge, are sitting on a Ferris wheel as it's not going, just, enjoying the view. I don't really know how they got up here, unless the Ferris wheel is going, which I don't really see it going. It's kind of just sitting. I don't know, maybe she hired it out, let's say that. Surely she's got some kind of paycheck from what she's been doing for the for song and that kind of stuff. Another weird vibe. This is giving me the start of Spider-Man 3 vibes, where I think Peter Parker says "Oh, life's been going great lately," and then sitting back and it's all nice before all hell breaks loose again. I've come to realize that ordinary is pretty good. I wonder if we're going to head towards the extraordinary very soon to disrupt this piece. Yeah, I think we are. And this is, again, clearly foreshadowing. If I was the one in trouble, you would come and save me, right? Hibiki doesn't waste a second, right? Of course, I'd rush to your side faster than the speed of light, which we know is true. This has even happened before. And what if I was the one causing trouble? This is, again, this tracks with a lot of what I've been thinking about the direction this season, which was then shocking to me. Okay, I should talk about this first. Music stops. Hibiki clearly unsure of what to think about that. It's just a hypothetical, don't think about it too hard, but it stopped her in her tracks, right? This is another emotional, I guess. Okay, what has been Hibiki's conflict so far? It's been rationalizing the punching and the holding hands, right? If the person that I want to hold hands with the most is in a very punchable state, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And I think, that's where a lot of Hibiki stuff is going. And yeah, I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen to Miku. I don't know what it is. It's not gonna be good. Cool. Then who the hell are these other three that are seemingly associated with the Illuminati, but not with Adam's goals? There's like an elf there, which I'm confused about. But again, we'll talk about them when we see them. Either way, this day gets interrupted by a giant explosion on cruise ship. Initially, I'm like, okay, big deal, because we know there's no like evil people close by that would be causing this. But it turns out it's one of their own ships. It's a disguised cruise ship that was researching Tiki. The indicator of it being like a secret floating thing outside of the city is what they're doing may be dangerous, and that intuition was correct. So yeah, they were investigating Tiki's corpse in the hopes of finding something about the goals of Adam and the Bavarian Illuminati. So Tiki takes information from space and then figures out shit. So it's taken some information from space and figured out the location of whatever this is in Antarctica. Why did it have this information? So firstly, Lake Vostok, that's where we are later on. We've said as such, so this is the lead into the conflict we see later on. Hibiki being stupid and not realizing that lakes in Antarctica need to exist below the layer of ice, which is pretty obvious stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it later. I was looking for a good jump-off point, but Tiki has this information because Adam was going to use that divine power to kill or destroy whatever's in that sarcophagus, which is a custodian, as we find out by the end of the episode. So that's why Tiki would have that information. I just wanted to make that clear that fits nicely. It's good. This is the other thing, right? We found this frozen scorpion near Vostok Station recently, right? And this is weird because this scorpion is long extinct and has a natural, I guess, environment, biome, whatever you would call, of like the desert. It's a scorpion, it doesn't belong in the snow. This indicates that potentially the world as we know it has undergone some kind of change from the point where this scorpion existed nicely to now. Or there's some kind of teleportation underground tunnel thing going on, which I don't think is what we're indicating. I think there's been some kind of change. It was somehow brought there by a prehistoric civilization. Interesting. Yeah, this is the part where I wanted to talk about it. They investigated some rogue cells of Bavarian Illuminati, indicating that Adam wanted to use that divine power to destroy whatever lies in Lake Vostok. Yep, so now our next job is to go back to the lake and investigate, whilst Hibiki thinks back on some, I guess, comments by Adam towards the end of last season. In your tomorrow, in your future, lies only despair. Not hope, despair, despair. And seemingly he's right about the kind of ominous direction we're going this season. Again, I have solace in the fact that Symphogear is very, very kind. But the last season would be the place to do something like this, like genuine character death or changes or bittersweet endings or that kind of thing. So, again, just holding steady. Unsure, it's uneasy at the moment. So yeah, everyone's down and out and the sarcophagus is walking towards us. It looks bad for our heroes and also whoever the hell these people are. So I saw this eye and I'm like, okay, all of the girls are like out of commission. Who the hell is this? And I didn't know. It's a new character. So again, we've had new characters that are evil every single season so far. So like, I'm imagining these are another two characters that are going to be somewhat sympathetic, but, have some kind of different objective to us at this moment. One of them is seemingly an elf. Not Elf 9, but an elf. Really pointy ears, got the one tooth going on, which I'm not exactly a fan of, but go off, I guess. Like the nails too, that's cool. Yeah, and they're wearing coats. They're hiding a lot of their character designs for now, but I'm imagining that they're going to have a little bit more going on in the costuming department as well. We don't really get a good look at the other one, seemingly like a bit of something around her neck, but pink and white hair. Sure. I'm way more interested in elf though, because you're an elf. So what gives? I kind of recognize her voice too. I don't know why, but I do. Then we hear like a bing bong from Lady, kind of like an announcement made at some kind of school or something to that effect, right? You would make that sound and then announce something, and clearly she's communicating somewhat telepathically. So pretty powerful person, you would think. I wonder if they're alchemists. I wonder what's going on there. So apparently destroying this thing makes them rule the planet. What? She's giving me Maria vibes, this lady, right? We can't ask him what his opinion was on it, but in any case, his goals are not our goals. So, again, associated with the Illuminati, we think, knowing of Adam, but not sharing his overall goals of world domination or oppression or whatever the hell we wanted. We're not trying to destroy the sarcophagus, we want to use it ourselves. She's cool. She's also pretty hot, so I'm liking that. And she's got a lot of hair and like a headband. I like her. I like her a lot. She's charismatic. She seems like a go-getter. We like that. But yeah, can't help but feel similar. You have a more mature character that's clearly a bit more of a leader, and two separate people that are seemingly a little bit younger. Like again, yeah, Maria vibes of her and Kirika and Shirabe vibes of the other two. This is a battle to take back our future. That's why we have to win. Which is another interesting line. Genjiro at this point was going to go out and then like use his extra warm underpants to go out and help them, which is good. I like that Genjiro was at least willing and able to go out and help. But these guys, the researchers, fire a flare. This flare has halted the sarcophagus's advance. I think they end up shooting too. Let's see what this represents. This represents this guy, whoever this researcher is, being somewhat charitable to the case of these girls that are stuck out in the snow, showing even a base level of care and want to help and ability to save, heroicism, all these kind of words, right? This in turn is inspiring for the rest of the girls, again demonstrating the themes of the show, that kindness begets kindness, and, you know, like small acts by other people can result in big stuff. We should try to help each other, prioritize human relations, hold hands, stay together, all sorts of things. I like it a lot, and it's very subtle, and it's very quick, and it's very good. Upon hearing this, even getting shot at by the big sarcophagus, but then, yeah, Hibiki hearing it, busting out of the ice, being ready to fight, realizing that the rest of the girls are far ahead of her as well and are already ready to fight in the same way. Yeah, I don't really understand what Elf9's doing here, but she kind of pops off. She'll be fighting in her own way. I always kept taking the next step forward, no time to even wipe my tears. Yeah, sure. The water's kind of pierced through the lake, and Tsubasa is surfing on it because she is rad, even though some of those mosquito things have gone underwater as well to try to get the upper hand. And those tears drenched my wings, weighing them down, too heavy to fly. I cried again. Yeah, that's kind of like the plot of the show for Tsubasa. Okay. She's even doing spin shit, which we like. We like the spin shit from Tsubasa. I reached for the warm sun, but it was beyond my grasp. It was so painful, I couldn't bear it. Yeah, that's even true too. Yeah, this is a really good... Okay, I think this might be my favorite song. Like, it's definitely doing enough in the musical department for me to like it. Like, the clear vocal melodies that are really sweeping and epic. I like how they raise in kind of intonation as well, raise in importance. I like how each of the singers get to go. But the lyrics are seemingly, like, wrapping up stuff. They're very, like looking back and realizing how far we've come and realizing what's going to strengthen us in the future. Yeah, it just makes you think how far we've come. It's a good feeling. I fought tooth and nail to reach the blue sky up so high, but it was so far I just sobbed helplessly, says Maria. Yeah, which I see as well. A little less specific, but sure. And the animation is just popping off. Like this part in particular, let me just like play this. Like this, here, into like her falling. That's spectacular. Hello, Symphogear. Where have you been all this time? Hello? With the music as well? What a flourish. How good. The blade-shaped words I spat to keep others from understanding hurt me just as much as I hurt them. That is Shirabe's character arc. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Or, I mean, a lot of it. Like, a lot of those, like, calling Hibiki a hypocrite and that kind of side of it. You know, it hurt me just as much as I hurt Hibiki through those words. It was not right and that kind of thing. Yes, and yeah, at central to it all, we're still, like, saving people. I think that's the best part. Where, like, yeah, just Hibiki being a hero. That's cool shit. But I never stopped believing in the friendship that we built together over the years past. Kind of almost Kirika responding to Shirabe's lyrics there, which is cool. And now each person gets a word too, so now the miracles we hold will be our strength, each word indicated by the kind of color of the lyrics there. Elf9 yelling to punch it, you're making no sense. I guess Elf9 did something that made the punch work better, and she was able to punch the laser, which is sick. So shoutouts to Elf9 for helping Hibiki to punch a laser. Our song rings out for tomorrow. Our song rings for the world. Wind of Axia, blow our tears away. A lot of talk of tears in the verses too. I like that a lot. I don't know what the hell a Wind of Axia is though. So yeah, Elf9 did something at the field and the fist. So shout out to Elf9. You're not alone, so connect with others. Don't let the pain distract you from what's ahead. Don't let the fear distract you from the miracle of humanity. Not even death can take us down. We say, let the flower of the future bloom. All for one. Live to your fullest. Big old explosion. Dude falls over. We're doing it, I think. Okay, yeah, and then this thing turns into a big old wheel. Shirabe style. Okay, I just noticed this too. This thing is rolling towards that evacuation point, trying to kill any of the people around. Hibiki, like, jumps in the way and punches it. Cool, still doing hero shit, even at this point. Oh yeah, now I remember, we're doing, like, underwater shit for a bit, and there's like a weird song playing as well, which doesn't have its lyrics on screen, so no help there. Maybe it appears later. She can't sing underwater, so the gear's output drops. So okay, this is actually some justification for why water is our worst enemy as well, because we can't sing underwater, so we can't be strong underwater. Even so, Hibiki says, despite it being a weak point for me, there's still a song in my heart. I don't need to sing it like physically. I can apply these same principles and punch my way out of this problem. Just, yeah, more great stuff like the background music pumping off there being matched nicely with the kind of strikes of the sarcophagus. Pretty well done. Goes right down to the ocean floor before preparing, again, whatever the hell this is. She starts like the water vortex up, which shoots this guy way up into the sky. I now remember how the episode ends. Cool. We should aim for the damage point on its throat, the one we uncovered earlier. Focus all the gear's power there. But it's a rotating, moving target. If we miss with our strongest attacks, we'll be left vulnerable. Oh no, we need some kind of sniper to step in and help assist with the aim. So we're all gonna gear blast, right? Put all our shit up into the air. So we gotta make the shot between all the drones with all 6 of our gear particles and destroy the sarcophagus. Kind of air shot it out of the break in the clouds. Pretty epic style stuff, I will say. Yeah, this your birthday is when this fight is over or something. So Chris's birthday is another thing that we have to do. We're just coming off Hibiki's birthday too. So clearly a lot of birthday stuff. Kiriko will be jazzed. She loves a good birthday. Also, these lyrics up here, which is a Nanamizuki banger in the background, I think. The Holy Mother cries as her sanity flickers out. Sure. Her tears of blood spill down even as she cries, I beg you to remember. Don't lose your way. Remember what it means to be you. That's a great sentiment, I like that. And gather the strength to rise again as we use G3FA Hexa Revolver, kind of the other one, the Hexa Conversion's brother. And it's a big old rainbow beam that we're going to shoot, and it's going to hit the guy in the chest hole and explode him. Then rainbow sparkles, all the clouds clear away, the ominous clouds revealing the truth, whatever the truth this sarcophagus is holding, as well as clearing away for the sun to shine down, which is another great theme of Symphogear. During the winter, we still get that little bit of sun, even though it's, summer in the southern hemisphere. And then, yeah, I don't know how many of these lyrics I'm going to read. But sure, I might as well just do it and get it out of the way now. I just don't know if it'll have a kind of visual accompaniment later. I don't know if I'm hearing the opening. I don't know what's going on there. Episode 1 was called From the Abyss of History, either way. Which, yeah, is kind of a line in the episode from memory. Drowning in sin, ashamed of your own vulnerability, can you really speak of protecting the weak? This prelude to tragedy will break this all apart, as the beat of fate toys with you. You may try to struggle against your path, not to reject, but to embrace love. Devote all your body, all your life, and stand up. Hear the cruelly thrumming rhythm? Whatever you say. Dragging down the lost lambs into hell, it may tear at you without mercy, but don't lose your way. I believe in the warmth of your hands. Fight your fate. Sure, whatever fate that may be. Find all your faith, too. The Holy Mother cries as her sanity flickers out. This is the chorus, okay. Her tears of blood spill down even as she cries, I beg you to remember, don't lose your way, remember what it means to you. Or remember what it means to be you and gather the strength to rise again. And then we get this logo. I wanted to have a good look at this. For one, Hibiki's looking like a goddamn angel. She's got them wings. And I really like the colors here a lot. We're using a bit more of a purple for the letters, where we've kind of gone a red color in the past, which I like. It's different. It's cool. Our little subtitle: Create a history with the light God could not know. Sure, the light God could not know is very interesting. Okay, sure. And not really much in this post-credit scene, just kind of the sarcophagus opening up at one point or another and revealing the custodian. Whatever the hell this guy is, this is the key to what we have going on. He's very tall and creepy looking, but I think it's pretty cool. So, I don't know why, but all along the journey, I'm just like, oh yeah, sarcophagus is a metaphor. It won't literally be holding a corpse. But then it's literally holding a corpse. The body of an Anunnaki, which is, I think, is what we're calling the custodians as well, beings once revered as gods. And Corpus Dei, which I think we may be using as we go forward. The biggest indicator for future stuff, one, he's got like some bling on, which is interesting. First time I used the pen, by the way. Got some bling on, but also the girls are nearby. Those two people in the hoods, the elf one and the other one. So they may have some kind of plan revolving around this that may take place relatively soon. The other thing is, could this thing be considered a divine being? And then that may lead to some divine energy, and then we may need some kind of person to house said divine energy, and then we may get a little bit sad. That may be the kind of direction we go in the future. But yeah, I think we're going to call it there. So yeah, Symphogear's back with a banger, and it was really, really good. And the animation quality and character stuff was just top notch. The songs were great. Probably one of my favorite songs so far being that kind of six-way song we got. The second one of the episode, not the Hibiki one. And yeah, just up in the ante in all sorts of aspects in a way that I really appreciate. We are strapped in for the final season of Symphogear, the best considered one, I think, from the community as a whole. So excited to see more whenever that may be. What am I saying? Of course, it'll be next week. Chill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord. Love Discord. Discord. We will return with probably one episode again next week because I'm seeing a pretty busy weekend, considering this is my weekend off. The next one is my weekend on. But yeah, we'll see what we can scrounge together. At any rate, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me and all that jazz. And hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.